Hey everybody, my name is Taylor Gibson, and this is the Gr8Wyte Experience. Hey everybody, welcome to the Gr8Wyte Experience, the show where I look at anything and everything of interest. My name is Taylor Gibson. Thank you for listening. You may recall that back in August of 2022, I recorded a retrospective for my all-time favorite video game, the Nintendo 64 classic Goldeneye 007 for the 25th anniversary of the game's release. I spoke about what the game meant to me and why it holds such a place for me in my heart as my favorite video game of all time. So, of course, I was over the moon a few weeks after said episode was released when news officially broke that the long-awaited remaster of GoldenEye 007 would be coming to the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox Game Pass. With said remaster officially being released and me getting the chance to sit down and play through it, I am here to give my honest thoughts regarding the Xbox version of the GoldenEye 007 remaster. So in preparation for this episode, I went back to listen to my retrospective as well as some of the reviews on YouTube regarding the game to compare other opinions to the one I have, and overall, I was very happy with the GoldenEye remaster. The game's development team truly improved on what made the original seem unplayable in 2023, not only from a graphical standpoint, from also a gameplay aspect as well. While we didn't get the 2007 Xbox Live Arcade version that was developed, however, that version was leaked online in 2021, I can't really complain given how this version actually turned out. In my retrospective, one of the big complaints I had was regarding the visuals and the frame rate. When I booted up GoldenEye for the first time on the Xbox, I truly was impressed by how crisp and clean the visuals are, especially in comparison to what we had on the Nintendo 64. The visual enhancements for me really stand out in levels like Seven Ion Night level and the jungle, where you can actually see where you're going. Another aspect for me that really helps the remaster is the higher frame rate, as I found it actually made the game much more playable, but also made the gameplay much faster than the original, which is a major plus for gamers today whom have grown up playing modern-day shooters. A major complaint that I actually heard when I'm watching reviews was how the game handled with the default control scheme, and what I gather is that this is mostly an issue with the version on the Nintendo Switch, as I personally found the Xbox version handles quite well. Although I did think the controls were kind of sensitive at first, I found that it wasn't a huge drawback overall. When looking at the remaster, there are only really two complaints I have about it. One is the lack of attention given to the game's audio. Now, given how much time and effort clearly was put into the GoldenEye remaster, I'm surprised that the development team didn't spend the same kind of a time and effort on the audio. And personally, I feel that the game soundtrack and overall sound effects could have benefited from a new coat of paint. Now, the only other complaint I have regarding the Xbox version of the GoldenEye remaster is the lack of online multiplayer. Given that the game's multiplayer is the defining legacy of GoldenEye 007, I am a bit disappointed that only the Nintendo Switch got the online multiplayer and not the Xbox. However, given the criticism given to the Switch version, I can't say that that's a real deal breaker. With all that being said, though, is the remaster of GoldenEye 007 worth sitting down to play? And for me, the answer is absolutely. I had an absolute blast going back, sitting down, playing it. I do believe that people who grew up with it will definitely get hours of enjoyment out of it. However, if you were going to play it, I do highly recommend getting it on the Xbox, as many have pointed out that the Switch version did not get the same love and attention, and overall the Xbox version just appears to be superior. Well, that wraps up this quick episode of the Gr8Wyte Experience. Just a reminder, you can find the show on YouTube and on Twitter at Gr8Wytepod. For this episode, I am your host, Taylor Gibson, and I will see you next time.